Yeah, you may even see the acronym, MMIW or MMIR. So it's like missing and murdered Indigenous women or missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. Some people are trying to expand the definitions a little bit. And I would say what I just mentioned is like one dimension of that, but it's a little bit broader. It's not just the sexual assault rates that are so high, but murder rates, just the number of Native people on a percentage basis who are missing is very, very high and astronomically high, and it needs an intervention. And so there's been an effort to draw attention to this issue and address what is driving it. And I think there are a variety of things that are driving it, like any phenomenon, substance abuse broadly across the country. It's complicated and it has different manifestations in different areas, and it changes over time from crack epidemic to meth to heroin and cycling back, So that it may look different at different points in time. However, some of the things are almost universally predictable. People who are economically disadvantaged are much more vulnerable to human trafficking, more vulnerable to physical and sexual assaults and things like that. Addressing the poverty things for all humans is something that can impact this. Because economic disadvantage has been disproportionate for Native population, it is a contributing factor to what's going on for Native folks. I'd say also the jurisdictional issues have been an issue. Also, the Native population is young. Birth rates are higher than for the general population. There are a lot of different, things that range from demographic to jurisdictional that are impacting this. Even when we're doing DEI work, Native voices and issues are often marginalized. I mean, there's some Americans, as I mentioned, who just think we don't even exist. So getting attention and traction on things that are disproportionately affecting Native populations is not super easy. And it gets complicated politically. You may have noticed in a totally different arena that tribes are becoming increasingly effective at resisting pipelines, mines, things like that. So the fossil fuel and mineral extraction industries would love to see tribal sovereignty eliminated, curtailed, and Native topics and issues marginalized because it's easier for them to do what they want to do. A lot of politicians are beholden to these moneyed interests. And so they line up to fight against the Indian Child Welfare Act, against the Violence Against Women Act, and so forth. And so we have both resistance at a political level, lots of people who are not paying attention to that topic. It gets drowned out in the deluge of information and misinformation. It's an area where we need a lot of attention and advocacy. So yeah, you'll run into the acronyms. You might see the symbol of like a red hand or red hand on the face or whatever as kind of like some imagery associated with that. But it's an information and advocacy campaign, and it does include policy recommendations and things like that.